What are some girl secrets guys don't know about? Drunk girls in the bathroom are the nicest girls in the world. Single dad with a daughter. This thread feels so important and also mind-numbingly terrifying. Expected girl secrets. Got mostly girl secrets posts instead. For S sake. If I say I'm about to come, that does not mean change one single thing about what you're doing. Don't go faster or slower, or God forbid change the position. Just stay exactly as you are. Please. I don't care how terrible it looks. I'm super late to this party, but I'll lift my boobs up so I feel like I can breathe without the weight of them. Have no idea if anyone else does this, TBH. It's a great feeling. Every so often, something itches. Is it a yeast infection? Is it a bacterial infection? Is your pubic hair growing back in? Is it dryness? Is it irritation? Did something get stuck in your underwear? The answer is that 99% of the time everything is fine, but you're still gonna worry and squirm uncomfortably trying to get it to stop. And also yeast infections in general. Much more common than one would think. And absolutely goddamn ruthless. Some of us get extremely horny during the period. Or little before that. Not the best timing. And not so many men dig it. Half the time I'm readjusting my bra, I'm actually trying to scratch my nipple. Edit. 7. 8k upvotes. Thanks guys. Some of us have to shave our toes. I suppose guys are warned about unexpected boners when they get sex ed. The same how girls are warned that discharge is normal as they're going through puberty. I see a lot of discussion about said boners. I guess the girl secret would be just how frequent it was to go to the bathroom and suddenly your underwear was so soaked it was insane. This is talking high school, middle school age. So careful with the replies, lol. And it could dry on them and make them crusty. It could get bad enough that the underwear could get holes in them if they go long enough without being washed. Sorry for the grossness. Tween girls can be unsanitary too, lol. Edit. I feel like I should add this. BTW, the comment about how people learn about unexpected boners and discharge. The more I'm thinking about it, the more I'm convinced it came from reading magazines targeted at teens girls, haha. I think M was one, haha. That's where the holes came from. Our favorite bra hasn't been washed in 2 weeks. Edit. It is winter. So maybe I should have said 6 weeks. Oops. Some women get blood clots in our periods and it feels like you're giving birth, so a jellyfish. Boob acne is a thing that happens and it's perfectly normal. Trust me. Same with stretch marks around the breasts and thighs. If you have sex without a condom, we need a good few minutes after to let everything drain out of us. I always tell my boyfriend BRB gotta go ooze. I try to come up with new ways to phrase this. So far my partner's favorite has been exorcising the semens. Go to spice it up. Ick now? Oh grave circumflex diaresis. Edit. Spelling ugh. Edit 2. We have so many hair related issues. Plucking dark random nipple hairs. Trying to line up when we shave our areas to when we hook up to avoid guys from seeing razor burn or ingrown hairs. Before getting out of the shower we have to pick out hair from our butt crack that fell out from washing our hair. Pubes growing and sticking out of our undies. Pubes getting stuck in pads or liners. Hell hath no fury like a woman who shaved and didn't get laid. Sometimes we have to take the extra long stride too. Because period blood and discharge can make things sticky down there. How slowly we have to pull out a dry tampon in order not to rip our vagina tissue out. Sometimes if you fart, it doesn't escape through the fabric. Instead it rolls all the way from the back to the front with a noticeable little pop. It's never a good feeling. Edit. Apparently this happens to a lot of dudes too. Not gonna lie. I assumed the balls stop it escaping the front. We, or at least some of us, get ridiculously horny on our periods. The aftermath of shaving our lady parts is a 2-week long nightmare. After 3 days of smoothness we're left with the world's itchiest stubble rubbing up against panties. Ingrown hairs from the constant pressure of yoga pants and skinny jeans. Not to mention the fact that our vajayjay now feels like the face of a scruffy man. Edit. All the dudes saying just keep shaving it then. IDK if you read the other replies, but it actually makes it no less than 100x worse. 3 days? Bliss. I'm lucky if I get a day and a half. We are almost always at least a little wet. It's not that you're hot. Our bodies just need to be to function. Like a dog's nose? Sometimes a pubic hair gets stuck under a panty liner. Ouch. We love it when you moan and make noises during sex. Don't be the silent type. Let me know I'm pleasing you, goddammit. We get so turned on that our clit actually hurts sometimes. Periods suck overall, but they are very different depending on the girl. Some women get emotional. Some are completely normal. Some periods last for 8 days. Some last for 3 days. Some girls are in extreme pain. Some just have mild discomfort. Some flows are very heavy. Some are very light. Aka. I'm on my period can mean anything from sorry, I'm completely incapacitated, or I'm just feeling a little worse than usual. Might not be a girl exclusive thing, but I personally need a lot more foreplay to actually enjoy sex. Can we bring back dry humping? This thread makes me feel so normal. Phew. Thank you. Ladies. Underboob sweat is a thing. Some women have larger labias and sometimes they get stuck in our underwear. It's very painful and extremely uncomfortable. And then we have to either walk funny to try to get them unstuck, or walk very, very carefully to somewhere where we can just stick a hand down our pants to get things sorted. And don't get me started about getting stuck in lace underwear. In pants hard bulge pic. Actual pic of your dick. When girls are particular about their hair products. It's not just being overly superficial or picky. When your hair is long, the right shampoo, conditioner, drying routine can be the difference between soft waves and a dry, ratty mess. At least in my experience. When you hold your breasts when you walk up the stairs so they don't jiggle because that's uncomfortable. Sometimes when we pee, a stray drop or two starts to roll across our butt cheek. Or maybe that's just me. The true reason we go to the toilet together is that the waiting queue would usually so long that alone we will A. Get really bored and B. Feel a little excluded from the conversation for some minutes when we come back to the group. So we go together and chat the whole time we are waiting. Sometimes a hug will do a million times more good than trying to get me to explain why I'm upset. Largely because I'm probably overwhelmed with my feelings and need to process them before I can explain them. The fastest way to process and get them out? A hug to feel loved. My nipples can be like 2 clitorises on my chest. Rubbing them very gently. Licking. Being kind equals I get super wet and aroused. Usually when I am stir, but I stimulate a nipple at the same time. I don't know why dudes don't try this more when I ask. Most go at my chest like they want to smoosh my boobs like dough, or suck a nipple like they're angry and trying to lengthen it. What I think they don't get is there's so much versatility in the body. I like rough play too, but tender play is a whole other lovely world. If there are any men fashion designers on here, women who like dresses want pockets in the dresses, and I don't mean near my boob, I mean on the actual skirt part. I love my one dress with pockets. The feeling of having fart bubble popping forwards and squeezing your thighs to pop it. Whoa. Didn't expect this to blow up. Till that guys get this too. Now I have a mental image of dicks flapping up like the lid on a kettle. The fart bubble that sometimes come forwards and goes into your vagina and just squirming BCU, you have butt hair your vagina now. Some girls like squeezing their boobs. As a guy I also like squeezing my boobs. I would say this only applies to women who are slightly bigger, but this was an issue for me even when I was very slim. Thigh rubbage is horrible when you wear a dress or skirt. Particular in summer. It was also bad for me if I was wearing stockings and they would ride down a bit below my vag, essentially forcing the top of my thighs to rub together in inglorious harmony. It hurts. I need jeans designers to reinforce the goddamn inner thigh bit. It's always the first to give up. And then I'm spending money on new jeans. Again. Ugh. After you go to the toilet. And you have discharge in your knickers. Pulling your knickers back up again is the most horrific feeling. It gets cold very quick whilst you pee. Cold, wet and slimy discharge knickers suck. Imagine that all day long. When we say don't stop during sex, it means don't stop doing what you are doing. Don't go harder. Don't go faster. Just don't stop doing it exactly as you are right now. It seems that when this is said, the guy speeds up or starts eyeing up the rhythm. Guys think girls are really complex, but that's not always the case. I mean, sure. Sometimes I have a lot going on in my head. But other times, when we're in the car and I'm silent and you think I'm angry about something, I'm just thinking I wish I'd ordered the tacos at dinner instead of the chicken. Or did I remember to switch the laundry over? Damn. I may be late to this post, but while we obviously can't get boners, we can and quite frequently accidentally get turned on. You just can't see it. I find that myself and a lot of my female friends cross our legs to help the feeling go away. But it could just be our weird thing. But you can't assume that any woman standing like that is accidentally turned on. Sometimes we just like standing with our legs crossed. Sometimes we stand up and things just gush out of us. We always think it's our period. Heavy makeup and no makeup looks mean something completely different than what you're thinking. The feeling of pulling a really long hair out of your butt crack. At first it's kinda gross, then this good little shiver feeling. Read it. Looks like our hair ends up in our guys' butts too. And you either love it or hate it, so I'm not sure whether to apologize or say you're welcome. You're welcome. Edit 2. My most upvoted comment is now about having hair in my ass. Thank you for that. We squirm around sometimes to unstick our underwear from our thighs. We also think periods are gross. But we don't have the luxury of avoiding them. Queefs are not true farts. In the sense of passing gas. They happen when air gets pushed up in there, often due to intercourse, and then it needs back out. Be nice if it happens, cause we might be embarrassed. And in a funny way. It's sorta your fault. Some of us. Especially the natural hair black girls. Not all orgasms are the same. The orgasm we give ourselves masturbating does not feel the same as the orgasm we get from intercourse. And the orgasm we get from clitoral stimulation is not the same as a vaginal orgasm. All are satisfying and wonderful, but the I just sort of blacked out. Holy I am done orgasm is what we really want. Women notice everything. Naturally we have a keen eye for detail and don't mean to get mad when men don't. I wish guys knew the difference between fake girls being cute and cute girls being cute. And the difference between bitches and strong-willed women. Ask your girl best friend. Trust me. They know. Edit. Those who don't have any girl best friends to turn to. An oversimplified got example. Cersei Lannister is a bitch. While Ygritte and Arya Stark are strong-willed girls. All three are violent, but the latter two don't want to rise above by pulling others down. Marjorie Tyrell is the girl who acts cute to get what she wants but is not necessarily all that innocent and naive as she lets on. Gilly is an innocent girl who genuinely needs help and advice and someone to support her. As a third party it is easy to understand the difference, but put yourself in the shoes of the male characters of GOT and you will know how manipulative many women are. Perfect example of why girls are so confusing. You could have easily elaborated on your post and given examples of these differences, but you chose to leave it vague without any actual information. Squirting is not as enjoyable as you might think. It's seriously the best thing ever when a guy actually takes the time to learn what you like during sex. We may play it off like it's no big deal we didn't come. but it really matters. That your period doesn't just stop all of a sudden. It's not bleed for X amount of days and then it just magically stops. Now there's still a little bit of extra stuff left, so feisty times aren't really gonna work the instant I'm off my period. We also like to look at Reddit while pooping and, like men, while we're peeing also. I don't know how many times I went to pee and sat on the toilet way longer than I needed to just cause I was caught up in some thread. A lot of women fake or guess MS and we are bloody good at it. Why though? Aren't you just encouraging your partner to do the wrong thing? Sometimes we just play with our pubes when we're bored. No arousal aspect to it. Being on your period is the worst. Try being super horny but not being able to wank because everything is just one big slimy mess down there. Edit. Okie dokie, wow, this blew up. For all my horny, sad, frustrated children out there trying listening to Hamilton, Heathers or Dare, let the blood works run, baby. Edit 2. Holy, my first silver, y'all are awesome. Edit 3. And a gold. Periods don't stop nothing but a sentence. That seeing a man in a well-fitted suit and tie is probably equivalent to men seeing women naked. My husband recently tried on some suits and every time he came out of the dressing room my heart skipped a beat. Stop telling me to smile more. Asshole. Pregnancy is way harder than you think it is. Even on a good day. I had pain or at least discomfort in obscure parts of my body that overwhelmed me. The exhaustion is unparalleled. The hormones. The muscle spasms. Bone aches. Crushing fears. Uncontrollable circumstances. It is a lot to handle. And you literally cannot get a break from those things until the kid comes out. Then you have a whole new set of things to deal with. I say this as someone who actively wanted to get pregnant and will likely do it again someday. I love my daughter. And I loved a lot of things about being pregnant with her. But it was also kinda the worst. And birthing her was another nightmare in itself. So basically, react to pregnant and postpartum women with twice the kindness and empathy you think they deserve. Hands are SI as hell. Hugs can be SI. Sometimes we just need a hug. But there is nothing more attractive than being pressed up against a hot guy enough to smell his cologne. HNNGG. Play with babies and animals. Even if you just tolerate them. An attractive man holding a baby is ovary explosion worthy. Don't grab girls by the chin. It's weird. Run your fingers gently under her jaw. And if she pulls away, back TF off. I've seen too many guys just not get the hint when the girl they're into is bending over backwards to avoid your lips. Nasty. Unless you know the girl. And she's comfortable with it. Don't put your arms around her. Or anyone. And we can be just as bad at hints. The best way to communicate is to uncommunicate clearly and concisely. Girls are known to play mind games. Guys are too, and they're just wasting everyone's time. I love heels and makeup. A lot of people think I dress up for a reaction. But I will do myself all the way up just to clean my house. Or go four-wheeling with my brothers. They laugh about it. Like, why are you in heels and a dress to four-wheel? Because it's a sitting activity, duh. The second coming. Vaginas produce excretions. They can ruin underwear. I wasn't even born with one and I can tell you guys flip there when they realize just how many quirks the things have. My goddaughter asked my wife and I how to stop the random leaking that happens. Her mother never really told her about it. After we explained that it's normal, she said, "What the hell? I'm like an old faucet." My husband was surprised to learn that I pee every time I poop. They're not separate events. Fellas. If I'm sitting on a toilet, you best believe some amount of pee is about to emerge. Love how this thread is 90% arousal. We need to pee right after sex to reduce the risk of getting a UT. Also, if on birth control and pulling out isn't necessary, we need to go empty out the goo you just gifted us. Please don't try to throw your arm around me and fall asleep. I don't want to sleep in the SX juice that will be leaking out of me momentarily. Let me go take care of that real quick while I pee. Looks like women really do make 80 cents to the dollar in comparison to a man's wage. Just look at all the gold in the other thread. We love when you play with our hair. Our vagina smells sometimes like the things you eat. It may not happen to every girl. But if I eat onions, garlic, pineapple, etc. you gotta be ready to feel the exact smell or taste, very sweet for the pineapple. Right into my vagina and its juice. Anything I eat can transform my vagina's smell. It can be great or bad, depending what I eat. Not all girls are bearless down there. Some of us are pretty hairy and we let it grow into a bush too. Do guys seriously not know this? Sometimes we don't really know what's wrong or why we're so upset, so stop asking what's wrong repeatedly and just hug and love us. If you're a guy and we're not that close and I tell you I'm cramping, it's not because I want to gross you out. When girls can't help but cry and we don't want to mess up our makeup. Dry humping is great foreplay. I'm a dude. I'm well aware of head hairs getting in your vaginas. I love going down on a girl and all of a sudden I pull out a 10-inch hair in amazement. Girls always get so insecure, but I reassure them it has happened before and I'm used to it. Then I make them even more insecure because they start to think of me pulling hairs out of other vaginas. Sometimes when we don't want to have sex with you, it has nothing to do with you. We aren't feeling SI. We are feeling gross from menstruation or menopause. We have something troubling us. Maybe a yeast infection. Maybe I haven't shaved or I fear my vag ain't that fresh. And sometimes I really do have a headache. Don't worry about it. If we have sat on that peen a few times and we always text call you back, you're golden. I know this is just me, but I don't know if any other girls feel this way around guys they like. Around the guy I like. I want to make him happy. And that's I really care about. He makes my day super bright when it's dark. I wanna tell him how much I care. But worried about the response he will give me. I'm straight. But a girl crush is real. Did anyone mention periods? That periods often come with diarrhea for many women because periods aren't gross enough on their own. If you're thinking of anal as the nifty default alternative to vaginal intercourse during periods, it could be so. So much worse than you imagine. There's more than one reason most of us have detachable shower heads. It's not purely recreational. Women are fastidious about our attire and adhere to seemingly frivolous fashion trends because we're operating with the assumption other women will be scrutinizing us throughout our interactions. Every woman is inhibited by her clothing choices if the general consensus of all the other women in proximity is condemnatory. No woman is dressing for the benefit of men alone. She's trying to elicit approval from women because we all know that when a woman compliments you with a nice dress, you looking spectacular. You don't need to last that long during sex. I know some guys naturally take longer to come, but bitches be getting sore. Sometimes a quickie in the kitchen is better than long romantic sex. After we've given birth, we like to share all the gory details of it with other women who has given birth. Also compete a little on who had it worst best. Got orange-sized hemorrhoid after labor. I marvel at my own boobs when they jiggle if I walk quickly walking downstairs while I'm wearing a t-shirt and a nice bra. Them ladies so round and pretty. Copyright earring. I then catch myself and look up quickly with a highly conceited facial expression and pretend to have been looking on the floor, thinking about something incredibly important. Some guys don't understand how different many girls look without makeup. Some of us like our alone time. Don't freak out if we don't text you back after a while. I'm the kind of girl that drops off the map for weeks at a time. But I'll always return. Always. I just like the outdoors and my quiet time. If you see me walking into the bathroom with a makeup bag, I'm not doing my makeup. probably late to this, but if you're talking to a girl at a bar club and then a friend comes up to you both with some reason she needs to leave, she most likely asked the friend to do that. It's usually the safest way to get out of a conversation with a creepy or uncomfortable vibe. Her friend isn't cock blocking you. You're most likely cock blocking yourself. Men with somewhat veiny forearms and pushed up sleeves are a godsend. Edit. I like the sleeves because it's like hiding something for the imagination. Biceps, triceps. Muscular arms are another one of God's gift, or the hard work and dedication that person took in developing them. Effort is another thing that I appreciate from men. Men with arms. I don't know if it has been said, but I always think I'm pregnant. Craving a certain food? Must be prego. Period didn't show up the minute I thought it would. I'm clearly having a child. Having said that, my husband and I are currently trying, so I'm at a constant state of toads prego. Need some pasta sauce and can't decide on a brand? Definitely prego.